man, I haven't streamed for, let's see, a week. I've forgotten how to do this, obviously. I just ate like a potato chip and it apparently is not, it's not the vibe for tonight. Come on, please tell me I did this right. Okay. Okay. Let me just do, doobly doo. It's my Twitter. You see, I'm not dead, even though I disappeared off the face of the internet for like a week. Which in some circles is the same thing as dying. Okay. Let me adjust. I feel bad. Okay, what am I forgetting? Am I forgetting anything? Who knows? It's been a hot second. Okay, let me just close that out. This is wrong. Okay, okay, so I did my makeup for like the first time in a while, so it's rough in some spots, but overall, I think it looks really nice. I'm sorry, I'm looking over here because that's my second monitor, and that's where my face is, because I have a face. But like, sometimes you can catch it, there's like glitter, and it makes me very happy, because, true story, I was watching the Trolls movie. I was watching the Trolls Christmas special because me and my brother thought it was funny. And me and my brother thought it was funny, and I saw the stupid glitter freckles, and I was like, hello, I want that for myself. And so that led to an entire year of me wearing giant glitter chunks across both of my cheeks every single day. And like, that wasn't the only thing. You see, my whole like makeup things back then was, I don't know why I was like this. There's so many things on my desk. I forgot to clear it off, so there's just like piles of things that don't go here, but it's fine. I lost the thread of the story. It's fine. Okay. I hope there is context to the story I've just heard. Let me think. What story was I telling? Oh well, that doesn't matter, you know? Okay, okay, so yes, hardcore, there's hardcore, okay. But me and my brothers like to watch really bad movies for fun. Hello, Glenn. How are you going? Okay. Me and my brothers like to watch like movies, really bad movies for fun, or like child movies for fun, and we watched the Trolls Christmas special as like sort of like a competition to see who could put up with the pain of it for longer. And I saw the main character and the stupid glitter freckles, and I was like, I want that for me. That is what's going to give me the serotonin I desperately crave. And so I put glitter chunks across my face as freckles for like a year. You know, honestly, it made me happy. Did everyone give me like, you know, taking style trip? I was, you know, I can be, I should probably be ashamed of it, but like, to be honest, it was kind of like, I thought it looked good. I still think it looks good. It brings me joy. All of my classmates gave me, like, you know the compliments when someone is like, oh, there's a part of your appearance that's weird? And like, I'm not sure if it's a good thing, so they give you a weird compliment about it because they have to acknowledge it, otherwise they can't move on with their lives. I got a lot of those being like, I like your highlighter. And I'm like, yep, it's actually 3 different highlighters, a glitter eyeshadow, and loose glitter. And they're like, oh man, that was fun. That was fun. And like, I went to cons and stuff, and people thought I was like, thought it was for like a costume or something. But no, I was just like that. But it led to one of the weirdest experiences I've had. I was trying to meet up with a friend because like, I don't know, we were gonna play like Magic the Gathering or whatever at this convention. And so I was just wandering around. And it was the first day of the con, and you know how it goes. So there's not really very many people. No, it was just it was super early on the second day, and so there weren't really very many people out and about. And this one guy stops me, and is like, "Hey, can I get a picture of you?" And I pause because usually when I'm at cons, I'm in some sort of like cosplay or costume, you know. But this was like the one time I wasn't, just because I was not in the mood for it. And so I was just wearing like an oversized hoodie and like shorts, but like they're like the stupid shorts that like are very impractical for every life situation, but for some reason I wear constantly. This man stops me and is like, "Oh, hey, can I get a picture of you?" And I just freeze because I'm like, okay, this is just literally what I wear like every day to like class and stuff. And I was just so confused that I like blue screened and then was like, no, and walked away and met up with my friend who was also equally confused about this interaction. You love Magic? I really like Magic too, but I haven't played in years, partly because I learned how to play Magic with the like old rule set, and so I try to play now, and I mention things and people are like, I have no idea what that is. You're mentioning like a cursed relic. And I'm like, oh yes. I still think fondly of my Banding Walls deck. He thought you were playing any isekai protagonist before they got sucked into a different world. Okay. I just... Like, the makeup I have on now is a very mild version of what I used to do, because it used to be like hot pink. Like, both sides of my face were just hot pink. The entire thing. Magic is your kind of thing. You're all about the Pokemon trading card game. I collected the cards for that, but I never played. Yeah, okay. Where is some stupid saplings? Okay, what projects am I working on today? I completely spaced it, because I'm like, I've been thinking about playing this hardcore world for a while, but I'm like, okay, I don't want to, like, play it off stream, because what if I die? That'd be incredibly rude. And so, like, I just kept thinking about it. Your life is a mess? Mine is too, but like, I'm not acknowledging it. I'm having a fun time because I've got glitter on my face, and therefore life is good. You gotta find the things that give you the serotonin your brain doesn't produce because your brain is malfunctioned. Okay, I think I'm gonna do some mining. That actually sounds like a plan. It does. I have a job now and I play the Pokemon. You unironically admitted? Yeah, okay. Yeah, your life is a mess. I hate Dark Oak. I have decided the saplings are the rudest things to ever conceivably exist. Why not? If it brings you joy, keep it up. Yeah, that's sort of my thing. It's like, you can be embarrassed about like all of the like things you did as a kid and all of the things you do right now. You can be embarrassed about them, or you can just say like, it brought me joy. Like, what's, you know, why cringe at things that genuinely made you happy and bring you joy? Like, I don't know. I'm mostly saying this because I did a lot of very, like, cringy things as a kid, and, like, I don't wanna, you know, they were the things that brought me joy then, so, like, I may as well be like, yeah. I wore cat ears every single day to school for 6 months. I'm not ashamed. I'm just like, man, I could have not done that. I could have done so many other things. How do you make shields again? Brain, please don't forget this. I don't remember how to make shields. Is that not... Huh? It's fine. It's now a little card game. Okay. Yeah. I forgot how to make shields, to be honest. It's fine. Who needs shields when you can cry instead? That's what my mother always told me. I'm not gonna comment on that statement. The only advice I can give, because I don't know you, but if it doesn't bring you joy, then it's not worth your time. Yeah, that's a very fair thing to say, you know? Like, don't keep doing something just because everyone expects you to, or that, you know, if something makes you miserable, you know, find a new thing, you know? I don't know. I spent years not being myself because I was, like, ashamed and stuff of, you know, just so much shame and guilt and junk that I don't have time to unpack, you know. I don't think you care. And it's just, like, you can be yourself and also, I don't know, it's like, it's not worth it to pretend to be someone else just for the sake of other people maybe liking you a bit more. Like, I don't know. I literally faked my voice for years. And so I don't know. I'm just quirky like that. Mental health issues. I can't joke about that. I don't know. I don't know. I like Magic. I like playing it, but for me it's like playing trading card games and stuff. I always just got so annoyed with the way they work, of just the, like, you have to keep on top of it and you have to buy the new card packs and stuff, and you just got so fed up with it. And I'm like, I'm just, you know, I will play it at cons or, you know, like hanging out with, like, friends, because I have friends who like who are really into Magic. They'll, like, I'll play it with them because, like, I don't know. I enjoy playing it, but, like, it's also, like, the same extent that I enjoyed playing Overwatch with one of my friends back when they played a lot of Overwatch, of just, like, it's not really my thing, but I know how much you enjoy it, and I like spending time with you and, you know, playing games that you enjoy. I don't know. My advice, kids, is be yourself. Don't let anybody tell you who you can and can't be. And make sure to hashtag girlboss. Don't join MLS. I don't know what I'm talking about. Man, I really miss streaming. I know it's been, like, only 7 days, but, like, my whole family has been like, please stop talking. We hate why are you like this? You can't stop talking for more than 5 minutes at a time. Please shut up. And I'm like, I know, but, like, you expect me to call my friends and talk to them? My friends are busy. They have, like, lives and jobs. What is the point of having people you share a house with if you cannot just randomly talk to them about, like, I don't know, poetry for 4 hours at, like, 6 a.m. I feel like I'm having a whole nother experience. How have y'all days been? Because my day's actually been pretty good. I woke up at like 11:30 and was like, PM, by the way, PM. And I was like, okay, I'm awake now, I guess. And so I just like vibed for a while, tried to go back to sleep, and then gave up, and then worked on video editing and stuff. Yo, what poems/poets? Okay, so the thing is, I haven't read poetry in a long time, and I love poetry a lot. And so I'm trying to get back into it because I used to write poetry like the depressed child in middle school I was. Okay, let me count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, that is correct. I don't know. I'm kind of just like randomly searching random poets' names and just like checking out their collections from libraries, you know, and being like, we'll see if this is enjoyable. Spin over. Okay, went to job, came back from job, had crisis while writing script. Oh yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I don't know. Poetry is something, I have not been diligent about lighting the things up, and I forget that, I don't know. If you have any, like, poet recommendations, I'll definitely check them out. I don't know, like, Walt Whitman is one of them that I was reading, and, like, Ginsberg is one I remember really enjoying when I had to, like, read his work for, like, school and stuff. But, like, to be honest, I really don't know anyone except for, you know, like, the, like, classics that everybody knows, like, Emily Dickinson, and, like, the other ones, I don't know. I want to get back into reading poetry because I loved it. And you see, as you can probably guess, I was an English class kid, and so I desperately miss being in school and having an excuse to read like poetry stuff and just like analyze books for themes. I'm really missing just having to read all of like Animal Farm in a single day because otherwise I will fail the class because I need to get the unit done. You know, I really miss that. And so like I'm trying to recreate it, but like better. Oh, I do not all the poets I know of we learned in English and they were painfully vague. Yeah, okay. I don't remember how big the box is. I think it's 555 is the spawning zone. I don't remember. I don't remember how to do this, so I'm just clearing out space so that when I inevitably look it up, I will be able to do this. I don't know. I like poetry a lot. Man, I miss being in school, and part of me is like, oh man, I should really enroll for college. But then like, I think back to the fact that I wasn't functional for 2 weeks because I was having a mental crisis, and I don't know if I'm ready to like get back on that college grind. Haha, because I took college classes and I was suffering a lot, but like that's just my common state. So like I don't know if the college classes had anything to do with it. I don't know. I need to figure out something to talk about this in this. I think you could tell that I've had caffeine today because normally I am a little bit more sane than this. Just a touch. Oh, okay. The tempered glass was made with the amethysts. I'm just gonna dig out this area. It's fine. You know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, like they say, you know, just throw rocks out your window. That's what I say. Oh man. Okay. That reminds me. When I was in middle school, like, you know, like fresh into middle school, I was like 12. I had like just turned 12 like a couple months ago or whatever, you know, and like me and my friends would eat lunch outside because the cafeteria was way too small for the school, and like it was eating inside the cafeteria, I did it once and it was awful, and I never wanted to do it again, so we ate outside every single day. The thing is, the outside, like, area where you could eat, which was basically just like a green piece of grass next to like the parking lot, was full of like the 9th graders who were just like awful. I don't understand why they're so bad, because I went to a different middle school later and they weren't so bad, but the real menace was the seagulls. The seagulls were like out for blood. Okay. If that's the center, and spiders are 3 wide, 2 wide, then I 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. What was I doing? I'm building it out of cobblestone because I don't enjoy things. But the seagulls were absolutely rude, and if you were eating anything, the seagulls would come and steal it, because seagulls are awful. If you've ever met a seagull in real life, you know what, they're just awful. I don't know what kind of vengeance, like, who wronged seagulls to make them like that, but like, they're a menace to society. If I have to, you know, describe them in one way. Okay, okay. I'm probably building this extremely badly, and y'all can like, be like, whoa, that's super inefficient and bad, and I will be like, I know, but like, I do not care at this present moment, so like, to be frank, doesn't matter. Okay. This is probably way too tall. I don't care. I live in the UK, we all hate seagulls. Yeah, you know, seagulls are worse. You know, like, I don't care about, like, most other, like, pests, because, like, you know, like, I've dealt with, you know, like, other pest animals, but seagulls are the worst because they don't care about your feelings. They're just, like, I can't make that joke. I don't make political jokes, so I can't make that joke. Please just forget that I ever even whispered a joke. Thank you. Especially when you live near the sea or any kind of beach. Yeah, you know, that, okay. Seagulls are just awful. I don't even understand why seagulls were there, because like, we didn't even live that close to any like bodies of water or whatever, but there were just seagulls who were like vibing, I guess. I don't know. They're just rude and monsters. Okay, so there's this quiz that I take every couple years because I think it's really interesting. But basically it's like a map of like, you take a quiz about how you say different words, and it'll pinpoint, like, it'll make a guess of like where in the United States you live based on your like accent. And it'll pick like the 3 top cities that it thinks. And every time I take it, I think it's really interesting because there's so many different like variations of accents across the whole United States. And just, I think that's cool. And it's just so cool to me. And I like seeing how it shifts over the years, because I used to have a, when I first took it, which was about like 3 years ago or whatever, it pinpoint, like, it was weirdly precise with exactly, it knew like, cause like the first like 2 guesses were the 2 biggest cities to where I live currently, and the other one is the biggest city nearby where I grew up, and I'm like, that's spooky, haha. And I took it again, and it was much more like spread across the whole like country, and I thought that was really interesting. Okay, what am I doing? I am not building this very efficiently, but like, who's gonna suffer? Twitch chat? Yeah, that's about it. And I just think it's so interesting how my accent has become more, has become like more like, what is the word? Spread out, diverse, or whatever, over the like years. And I just think that's really interesting. You see, I ate food. Be happy. This feels like too big of a space. I remember my old spider spawner being much smaller than this, but that might have just been because I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but like, it's fine, you know? I am, thank you. Okay, I forgot to bring 2 water buckets, so I'm gonna have to go find some water. Babe, 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 that was very rude. They're too wide? My plants have been foiled. Okay, so the last spawner I built was a cave spawner spider like thing, and it was like over a year ago. Okay, I know my spawner is probably gonna be very inefficient and isn't gonna work, but it's fine because I built it without looking up a guide because I'm dumb. I'm being very loud for absolutely no reason. But I was actually looking into like accent things because there's actually one specific word that I say that like specifically pinpoints like exactly where I grew up because it's the only place that actually uses that specific slang word. And it's very funny to me because I'm like, man, I could accidentally dox where I grew up just by talking. And it's funny because it's a word I actually use. And so it's like, that's so funny. But like half the things I said about where I grew up can like, you know, if you're familiar with the United States, you know, but it's, when referring to like this, you know, like soda, pop, soft drinks, beverages, some might even say, I grew up calling them soda pop. It was soda pop as like one word. And there, you know, out of the whole United States, the only places that really say that is like Utah and Idaho. And I think it's very funny. This is not what I was looking for. Also, I'm hearing construction because my neighbors are putting in a fence. And it's just like, I think that's really funny. And it's like now, it's like, it's soda pop, but I refer to it as either soda or pop depending on the context. Like if it's a 2-liter bottle, then it's pop. If it's a can, then it's soda. I don't know. It's welcome to my brain, which does not make sense because I don't make sense because you know, I'm trying to understand why everyone in like freshman, you know, in high school, everyone thought that I was a stoner or constantly drunk. And I'm starting to understand why, because I've watched back like old streams and stuff and just clips of me talking, and I'm like, man, I do sound like I'm absolutely not conscious and that I'm just like on something. And it's like, no, this is just normally how I'm like, I got the water. Why am I going up? Okay, okay. I just, okay. But like, yeah, there were so many people had so many interesting interpretations of who I was in, like, high school, and I just didn't bother correcting them. Because I learned through middle school that the more you try to fight a label like that that's put on you, the more people will just assume that it is true. Because in middle school, I had some reputations that they weren't true, and then anyone who knew me knew they weren't true, but like, the more I tried to insist that like, no, I don't do that, I'm not that kind of person, they just stuck harder, you know? In some circumstances, the more you deny something, the more people think it's true, which is dumb, but like, at the same time, like, Do you really care about... I just decided I didn't care about their opinions, and truly, it was a pretty good decision. I need to stop talking for like 3 seconds so I can breathe. Otherwise, I will die. I need to breathe and calm down, but I do not ever. Okay. Man, I want to... What am I saying? I need to figure out what I'm saying before I start talking, because I don't do that most of the time. I'm pretty sure you guys are... When you watch my streams, I'm pretty sure that that's made pretty clear that I just kind of say words and like think about the I'm devastated. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna furnace as a stupid deep slitted stuff in cobblestone. I'm so upset. It's fine. Life is great. But I just... What do I just... Come on, brain. What do I just... Pretty please, can we please get the rest of that sentence? Okay, this probably isn't gonna work, but I am gonna do it anyway. I mean, it's one of the reasons I followed personally. Okay. I'm just so cool that like people will be like, whoa, you talk absolute nonsense all of the time. That sounds like what I want to see. A slightly more genuine streamer than the rest? I guess in a sense. It's a different kind of genuineness. Because like, I don't behave like this in my normal life. I am actually like pretty like, you know, like I'm pretty not like this. I'm kind of reserved. I don't really talk a lot. I'm pretty chill. And this is just like, I don't know. I guess you're peeling back that piece of my brain that like cares about what people think of me. This is a really bad idea that I'm doing currently, but because I'm gonna fill in the stairs and the water, have it fall down, and then fill this in and escape. This is gonna go badly. You've been unlucky enough and checked into one of my streams and not too much better. You know, I think there's something for the, something good to be said about amateur quality work. I've always really admired it, and I think I prefer it, in a sense, you know? Because you're not trying to be better than you are. You're not trying to prove yourself to be the next Michelangelo. Not Michelangelo, that's the wrong thing. You're not trying to be the next Shakespeare, you know? I need to stop falling down the hole every single time because I'm dumb. You know, you just gotta be yourself and just keep going, because at the end of the day, that's all you are, you know? You can waste your time trying to pretend to be something else, but like, you'll always just be yourself. I heard a spider. I don't know. I guess I'm just very salty that I wasted like multiple years of like my childhood pretending to be someone I wasn't because of, you know, the fact that people hated me for who I was. And do I want to talk about this? Thinky, brain go thinky. In like middle school, I was called a lot of slurs. And it wasn't even for like things that like actually applied to me, but I just, you know, I was relentlessly bullied for everything I had a slight interest in. And it just makes me really upset, and I don't want to have anyone else go through that experience. Well, that was weirdly inspirational, came out of nowhere. Thanks, though. I mean, I did make an infant. I'm very proud of myself. I actually thought through my actions for once. You know, and it's just like, the worst crime that, you know, I feel like one of the worst things you can do to people is crush the part of their spirits that makes them want to do things they love and be themselves and enjoy the things they enjoy. I truly think it's a despicable thing to do. And I truly just, there's a lot of people in my life which I dislike because of things that they said. Okay, the spiders won't start spawning. There's one on top. There's one on top. Oh, this is so dangerous. It's fine. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. It'll be fine. Okay. They're already spawning. I hate this. I hate this so much. I want to leave. Okay, okay. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I know it's not perfect, but like, the spiders are spawning and I don't want to do this. I'm scared. But also, yes on the art thing. Did I say something about art? I probably did. Knowing me. I don't know, it's just like, one of the biggest things is when I was a kid, I was made fun of for enjoying shows. Like, I was made fun of for enjoying children's shows as a child. Like, I was 5 and I would get mocked over like the TV shows I like chose to watch. You know, when it was like, oh look, the 5-year-old child is watching like Dora the Explorer or whatever. Which is like dumb and stuff like that. And it's just like, I never really felt like I got to enjoy like being a kid because there's a hole in my spider spawner. I didn't feel like I got to enjoy being a kid because I was constantly mocked for all of the things that I enjoyed. I feel like I could have done this in a smarter way because there's precisely 0 spiders in my spider pit. I feel like I made a mistake somewhere along the line. Let's think about this. What did I do wrong? I'm gonna ignore this. This is a problem for another day. Okay, this is not a learning, teaching moment. Let's actually figure out what you did wrong in this situation. This is called, I'm gonna do what I did with like my report cards and I'm going to bury them so I don't have to think about them and cry about getting a B on a math test. I know the problems with it, it's fine. I'm just, let's what's another project that I do in Minecraft? Haha, I am ignoring my problems. It's fine. That's just like lukewarm. I really should not be drinking more caffeine because me and caffeine, we're not friends. We're not pals. We're not like buddies. We're not chums. We're like acquaintances who hate each other depending on the day of the week. I'm not fixing the spawner. That is like the future problem, you know? That is not my problem. That is Future Ray's problem. Why am I dying? Why am I dying? Okay. Did I walk past the stupid thing? No, I didn't, because this is stupid far out for some reason. I literally have closer spawners. What am I doing? I literally remembered there's cave spawner spiders like right down here. I swear, let's go explore Mineshaft because that sounds like fun. I love having fun in the game that is Minecraft. I do. Ho ho. Adventures, let's explore Mineshafts and die because that sounds like fun. Where's my food? There it is. You see, I will eat food just... That one was the practice. Yes, of course. That's exactly what it was. It was a strategic failure to build suspense, and now I will walk in a circle for 5 minutes because I don't have any buckets on me, which is a bad idea, but like it's fine because like what's the point of worrying about your problems when you can just talk about anime instead? I don't have anything to say on anime though. I literally haven't watched it in a long time because I don't know. Nothing has been interesting recently in that whole sphere. Make mistakes so you don't make them later. Exactly. Why do you make mistakes when you can just ignore them? I want gold. Actually what I want to do is leave this place and go somewhere else, which is in the new chunk, the ones that were spawned in like 1.17 or whatever this update is called, and go mining there so I can get copper and like amethyst and stuff. My auntie and uncle made me watch Demon Slayer. And that one's good. I'm rewatching FMA 2003 because I have a problem. I too do have a problem. I rewatch FMA and Brotherhood a lot. There is one reason I rewatch them over and over, and I'm not gonna say it because I will get bullied because everyone I've told bullies me, and you know what? Who cares? I'm gonna say it. Let's just say Winry just really connects with me on a on a level, you know? Winry is great. I've seen FMA 2003. I watched it as a kid along with Brotherhood. Like, I don't actually remember my first time watching the show because every time I watched it through, I had memories of the show because I literally watched it when I was 4. Probably gave me nightmares, but like, that's not trauma to unpack. And it's like, I really like both ones. I actually rewatch 2003 more than I do Brotherhood. Because I don't know, it's something about the opening episodes really just, I enjoy better about 2003. I do like Brotherhood too. I think I like them equally, but on like different senses. Spider, that was incredibly rude. I'm gonna die. Are you okay? Do you want to talk to someone? I'm sorry. That is very funny and relatable. I just okay. I'm just gonna yeah, I don't know. I grew up watching anime. I grew up watching like so many shows I probably shouldn't have, but like it's fine. I don't know. I like them both, and it's like I always kind of watched the first 20 episodes of the shows, and that was about it. To be honest. Because I'd start rewatching them so many times, and it got to the point where I had the first episode of both of them memorized because I am an absolute buffoon. I am a whole clown and a half, you know? Let's not dwell on that statement I just made. I really like a lot of the characters in both versions. Okay, I'm gonna admit it. My favorite character, besides my favorite character in both versions. No, actually, no, just Brotherhood. I like this character in Brotherhood, but I don't like their counterpart in the, like, 2003, is Envy. Envy is my favorite character. I will die on this hill. I know they're, like, not a great character and, like, do questionable things. I don't care. I love them so much. I don't like 2003, partly just because they have a very feminine voice actor, and I really just hate it. I'm sorry. You can't do Envy dirty like that. Envy is cool in both. The voice actor for 2003 kills me. Just give me the non-binary Envy. I know they are. You can't lie to me and be like, look at them, they're female. I don't care, you are wrong. Please, this is the only thing I'm asking for. Just like, don't destroy the small bit of just like things I see, you know? It's all I want. I'm gonna stop talking before I start saying things which I will probably regret in the future. What am I putting away? Wood. Georgia jungle. Okay, what am I building? I'm going out on a mining expedition. How do you build shields? Why was the game gaslighting me earlier? I feel cheated. Absolutely cheated. I swear it was telling me I couldn't craft a shield literally earlier. I'm gonna file a complaint with like so many people. Okay, I don't know. I kind of stopped watching like TV shows and media. I don't know why. I think I just realized that like, oh hey, I can do like other things with my life. Why is my... Please, just give me music. Thank you. Iconic. I need to stop doing that. And that's Glenn's house. And by house, I mean shrine until he dies. You can blame the direction there because Envy's voice actor is the same in both the sub and the dub. I've only watched the dubbed version of both animes. I'm sorry to tell you. Usually I watch subs, but like the dubs are what I watched as a kid, so it's what I watch now. I just don't like how 2003 made just Envy just like I don't like how they took the like non-binary character that I see Envy as and just turn them into a non-conforming like female character, because like yes, I'm all for non-conforming female characters, but the thing I'm not here for, but you know the thing I want more? I guess that's a better way of saying it. It's the same actor between the shows. Wow, okay, my brain is dying. Okay, hello, welcome to, apparently today I'm exposing myself. That's what's happening. Shock face, leak. Oh no, people are, I am exposing myself for liking, I'm exposing myself. Okay. Let's go mining, boys and gals and non-binary pals. Shh, I know I have a sorting system, but like, you didn't see that. let's just say Winry, like, was a core defining piece of my childhood. And that's all I will say on the matter. You know, like, Winry, crucial to, like, me being the person I am today. I like both the, I honestly don't really remember much of the motivations and stuff between the things, because I kind of, it's one of those shows that I watch to help me fall asleep at night. I watch a lot of questionable media to help me sleep at night. I feel like I just kind of like be like, because I have nightmares every night. It doesn't matter what content I consume, because it doesn't affect me at all. Because I'm just an absolute clown all of the time and have nightmares 24/7. So like, I watch Binding of Isaac Let's Plays before I go to bed, like, every night. I don't know why. I watch so much horror anime before I go to bed, but like, that's fine. Before I became an average height kid, I quote as short rants constantly. Yeah. Oh man. I wanted to be Ed so badly. You don't understand. I wanted to be Ed so badly. I really just like see myself in characters and be like, yep, I'm becoming this. These streams are feeling more and more like a confession booth. Yeah, why do you think I stream? It's because nobody in my life wants to listen to me talk about this stuff, and so instead I just stay into the void of Twitch, and like, that way I feel like people are listening to my nonsensical rants. Well, none of my friends get annoyed at me for having to listen to me talk about this kind of thing for the 4th time this week for like 3 hours. Yeah, Ed's hair, so good. I love it. I want to get Winry's piercings. I think about them a lot. I think about the episode where she you know, she has to take them off because it's cold, and she doesn't get them back for a long time or whatever from Brotherhood. You know what I'm talking about? I think about it a lot. I cannot sleep at night. I am too busy thinking about earrings. You know, I'm beginning to realize why you know, my sister will tell me that I'm entertaining, but she says it in a way that, like, it sounds kind of like an insult. You know, it's like, you're entertaining. And I'm starting to understand what she means, because, like, frankly, I sound absolutely insane, and I think people think it's funny, and it's like, no, this is just me scraping off the, like, level of, like, polite, This is just what happens in my brain 24/7. Like, this is what I'd be like if I had no self-awareness of, like, social awareness. Bees. I can zoom in. I'd had them and gives them back to her, and then the emotional goodbye stuff. Yeah, okay, yeah. You know the scene I still think about. I think it's because because like, as a child, I desperately wanted to have the kind of you know, I desperately wanted to have that happen. I don't know, I so desperately both wanted, I can't say that, haha, I'm gonna say it anyway. I both so desperately wanted to be Winry and date Winry. I just, that character type just, it just vibes with me on a whole level. Like, it just, that scene hurt me emotionally, and by that I mean I still think about it, and it's been 18 years. I really, why am I talking about this? I don't like talking about this. There's a stupid creeper, and I forgot to bring it back with me because I'm dumb and idiot. I did it. I am so proud of me. I'm very epic and cool, and there's nothing in this cave, and I've been lied to, and it's an utter disappointment. That's fair, but unfortunately impossible. Yeah. Man, I can't talk about my favorite characters because a lot of it is just like, just being like, ooh, wow, you have a type. And I'm like, unfortunately I do. Unfortunately I do. Imagine liking people. I would never, you know. I frankly decided once upon a time that I would never have human emotions ever again, and that's why I'm like this. I would still date Mustang. Always. Always have, always will. Yeah, Mustang is great. I love Mustang so much. Man, I adore that man. Okay, embarrassing secret number 4. When I was in middle school, my phone lock screen, half of them were like random screenshots from anime and the other half were like screenshots from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Please stop judging me. I can feel the judgment already. But one of my lock screens for a while was just like, it was just my Mustang. It was just him. I feel more embarrassed about the time Spike was my lock screen, but we're not talking about that because middle school is a time that we try to forget when I try to convince absolutely everyone that I was, yes, super masculine, muscular guys, definitely. Definitely. I was lying. That's like the opposite of my type, but like I sure did pretend, you know? Isn't that just middle school in a nutshell though? I think there's nothing wrong with just so many things. I'm gonna stop talking before I inevitably say something and I can't take it back. Why isn't there anything? What am I doing? I want to drink water. I need to stop drinking Coke and I need to start drinking water instead. You've already said many things that won't be able to be taken back. Yeah, I have, but you know, I have this wonderful power called nobody cares about me. That's the great thing. You know, it's like, it's the benefit to growing up and having nobody actually care about you or know your name, is that when you grow up, nobody will be like, oh wait, I vaguely remember this person. Why are they wearing cat ears? You know, nobody will be that because nobody remembers me. They're just like, oh, huh. It's great. Really, though, I must have buried... I really thought I buried the Mustang obsessed part of me. You can't let go, you know? It just... That's... You know, it's just embrace it, man. Just embrace it. Oh, man, I just... There's so many things. There's so many things I could say that just truly just like will lower everyone's opinion of me, but I'm not going to do it. But I'm very tempted because part of me thinks it's very funny to say very embarrassing things about me with full confidence because other people get scared and intimidated by me when I do it, and I think that's funny. I literally had a bunch of people who knew me IRL who were like, you're a very intimidating person. And I think that mostly just comes down to the fact that I will just say really embarrassing things without caring and just like, yeah, so what? I do embarrassing things. I'm kind of, you know, I was kind of cringy or whatever. And they just are afraid of that because I don't care what other people think. And I will admit things that like most people will take to their graves. Was that the voice actor for Mustang? Because I genuinely do not remember Mustang's voice acting. You see this thing called every time one of the homunculi was on screen, I was not paying attention to anything else that was happening. Because envy and lust really... I'm not gonna finish that statement. I'm not gonna finish that statement. You can just fill in the blanks with whatever you want to. It's fine. It doesn't matter. If you cringe at yourself, it just means you've improved. I mean, oh yes, okay, right. I recognize that quote. It was an Alpharad. What, it just means you've improved. I get that, but at the same time, you know, there's a power in just owning it, like, of being like, yeah, this was what I was like, you know? This is how I acted and behaved, you know? That was just who I am. That's what made me happy. And just, like, owning it, that brings, like, a different kind of power, you know? Because if it doesn't embarrass you, no one can use it against you. You can't be hurt by things that you fully accept. That's my fun fact from getting bullied as a kid. You know, when people try to bully you and be like, you watch anime, that means you're the devil, and be like, yeah, I am. Thank you for noticing. I didn't, that was not where I was going with that. That was the wrong example. But it's like, I liked My Little Pony, and I watched it as an 11-year-old, and I got very bullied for it. And I was like, yeah, I like My Little Pony. I don't care. You know, I dressed up as My Little Pony for Halloween. Like, at least one year for Halloween. I think it was multiple. But it's like just being like, yeah, so what? You know, really just stops other people. I don't know. I fully accepted a knife one time, and that one did hurt. A lot? What? You sound very tired. Was that a joke? I feel like I'm just more confused than anything else. I don't know. That was fun. I don't know. And so it's like, there's a lot of things where it's just like, yeah, whatever. I did them, you know? And like, that was it, you know? There's a specific example, but I completely forgot because my brain is like dumb and only functions like 4 minutes. It was an attempt at humor, as we know, not my strong suit. It's an interesting segue. John Cena is only 6'1". I thought it was like 5'7". To be honest, I'm like, that man has short energy, but I also, my knowledge of John Cena is like from references only. Wait, I was thinking of John Mulaney. I was thinking of John Mulaney, not John Cena. I don't know who John Cena is, to be honest. I'm pretty close to his height and much taller when you fold him in thirds. Wait, you're tall? That's rude. Excuse me, I take it as a personal offense anytime anyone is tall. And that is purely because I don't get to pretend to be tall. Because like, I am 5 foot, like 5'8", 5'9", but most of my friends are like 5'3", 5 foot flat, you know? They're short. And then there's me, and when I'm with them, I feel super tall, and and then there's people who are like genuinely tall, and they're like, you're not tall, what are you talking about? And I'm like, hello, when one of the people you dated was literally 4'11", you kind of start to think that you're slightly tall. That's just how it works. John Cena was a former WWE wrestler, and also my prom date? I want some can I get some clarification on what? Did you bring like a cardboard cutout of John Cena to prom? I'm sorry, did you... I need to... I don't know how to recover from that. on the money. You are. That's okay. I admire that. That's funny. That's truly very funny. That is very funny. That's how it feels when you tell my story. When I tell my stories aren't that bad. My stories make sense most of the time. Though my favorite story to tell in random lulls of the conversation, you know, I'll be like, okay, you know, we're talking about something, you know, random lull in the conversation. Go for it. That's what it's for there. There'll be a random lull in the conversation when I'm talking with someone, and it'll be like, did you know one of my exes was a communist? And usually the person just gets very flabbergasted and just stares at me and is like, excuse you, what? Are you gonna elaborate? And I'm like, yeah, one of my exes was like super into communism and has a communist flag on their wall. And they're gonna be like, what? And then I'm like, that's not why we broke up though. And you end the story there, and I think it's very funny because it's entirely true, but like, I just love the expression on people's faces. It truly just, it's very funny to me. I should stop telling stories. I love telling stories though. It's great. I just, it's like, how do you give context for that? Like, I don't know what more they want from me. Like, that's all the context there is to that, you know? Oh, it's great. Oh, man. So I actually went to, like, a prom thing. Because, like, I got invited by one of my classmates who probably just invited me because I felt bad because I was like, haha, I really am doing absolutely nothing because I'm not walking graduation and I'm not going to prom either. I'm literally just like streaming and that's all I do. And they're like, haha, I'm holding a prom thing. I guess you can come. And like one of my good friends, pals, buddies, amigos or whatever, who like I hung out at like conventions with or whatever and had the class with her, like last year or whatever was also invited. I'm like, sweet, I can just hang out with them and we will just like make a bunch of jokes that probably aren't funny. The way I cope with embarrassing situations is I go, this will be a funny story in a couple of years. You know, it's a funny story from the start if you just believe in yourself. And so like I hung out with like two of my friends from these class, both of who were just like, I don't know how people deal with me because I'm just a chaotic force and there's just no stopping me. Nah, someone's take time to heal. I guess. I usually just, you know, laugh through the pain because it's like, it's funny if you just ignore it for long enough. What was I doing? Was I going out to find something or collect something? Am I just going on an adventure for no reason? Probably. I'm gonna craft a boat. What was I saying? I think I was in the middle of the story and I stopped. My last relationship was 3 years ago and it ended because she was gay and that's fine. But when we sat down and talked about it, she said, I realized that as soon as we started dating, that one took a while. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I feel you on that, cause I feel that, I don't know if I can tell the story. One of my relationships ended because of something similar to that. And the way they said it really hurt my feelings, but looking back on it, I know exactly what they meant, and, you know, they did not, like, mean anything, like, negative about it, but, like, I was very salty about a specific comment they made for, like, it took me a couple years to, like, let go of it. It is funny. Oh, man, there's... I don't know. there's some stories where it's like, with me, I don't really realize a lot of things have hurt me until later on, and so I'll tell it as a joking story, and then like a couple months later I'll realize, wait, no, that was actually something that really hurt me a lot, and I can't actually just laugh that one off, chief. And so there's a lot of stories that, like, coming back to them, I'm like, that one is really not funny. But you live and you learn, you grow up. Like, I'm trying to decide if I want to tell the story or not. That's my, you see, I'm actually using my brain for once and thinking about things. I know, it's such a surprise. I'm gonna take a drink and think. But okay, so my last like actual like my last like serious like long relationship I was in it was a very toxic situation. There was a lot of gaslighting and manipulation and a bunch of just a lot of not great things happening in that. And I literally had the realization one day in the middle of class, I was editing a video and I was in the middle of like adding in B-roll, and I literally had the thought about my ex-partner of like, my life would be so much better if they weren't in it. And I did not leave that relationship for another like month, even though like my best friend who I told about some of this stuff and was like, haha, isn't this funny, haha. They're like, no, get out of there. And I was like, nope, not, I can't hear you. But when I eventually did, I did it through the funniest way possible. I sent them a 30-minute long voice memo because I originally was like, let's just be friends. And they're like, what? Why? What are you talking about? And I'm like, let's just be friends. And then I sent them a 30-minute voice note, which I have no idea what I said in it because I cannot bring myself to listen to it again. And then they're like, okay, cool, we can be friends, haha. That's fine. It was not fine. That's just a common thing they did, was that kind of thing. Where, but like, whatever, that's not the point. And so for class, as an extra credit thing, I was filming a like fashion show or something, for one of the other, like, one of the other things, like, for a different class, for a different thing. We were filming this fashion show, so it's like me and like my teacher with these cameras just filming this thing, and it's like most of the models were like half naked, and one of them halfway down the runway ripped off their shirt, like tore their shirt in half halfway down the runway. I thought it was hilarious. And because at the time my ex was the only person in my life because they had convinced me to cut out every single other person, I was telling them this, and they got so mad at me for this. They blew up me, accused me of cheating, and just called me a whole bunch of things. And I'm like, sir, we were chill like 2 days ago. What is your problem? And I think it's funny. And I just think the idea of me just breaking up with this person via voice note is the funniest thing. Cause like, if it was text, then like, that's boring. If it was a phone call, that's like exciting and probably like, whatever. But like, voice memo is just funny. You know, it's in the past. Like, you know, you live and you learn. Hearing about I'm glad it ended. Yeah, I am too. And it's just one of those things where it's like, man, it was really just like a not great sandwich piled on top of each other. Oh, man. And it's like, there was just a lot of things. But like, it's, you sometimes you just have to learn the hard way, you know? My mom always says this thing where it's like, there's like two kinds of people. One where it's one kind of person where if you tell them the stove is hot, they'll accept it and they won't touch the stove. And then there's the other kind of people who have to touch the stove and get burnt before they realize that it's hot. You know, they have to have that firsthand personal experience. And I think about that a lot because for me, it's, I'm the kind of person who needs to touch the stove like 8 times before I realize it does in fact burn you. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Okay, but the funniest thing is, most of the people I've dated, I've asked out because I'm just very cool and confident and epic like that. But the thing is, half of them I asked out via some sort of Google like product, like not half, that's wrong. One person I asked out via Google Docs, which is just a statement, and the other one, it was for this like sociology class or whatever, and we're making these surveys about something or other, and they sat next to me in this class, and I'm like, oh, can you like preview it and make sure all the questions make sense and stuff? And the last one is like, will you date me? Which is, it's just so embarrassing, but at the same time, like, yeah, that is the thing that I did, and I thought this was a great idea. I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, this is the perfect way to do this. And they said yes. I don't know why. I truly don't know why. Now you forget about the third kind, the kind who agree and acknowledge you told them the stove is hot and decide, a stove, and then touch it and gain nothing. That is my camp. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at. You know, it's like, I'll be like, touching the stove will probably burn me, but what if it doesn't this time, you know? I don't know. So I don't know. I kind of stopped dating, just because I'm like, too many bad experiences, and also like I kind of realized that I was just using relationships to fill the like void of my life that should be filled with therapy, and I'm like, maybe I should stop dating people and get back into therapy. And so I did that, and honestly, it's been regarded as a pretty good move by most of all of the people in my life. Ain't fair. I just had a crisis, and don't tell them how I feel, and just say how, hey, seen any good movies lately? Oh, yeah. I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny. Don't leave the gold block. Oh, the gold block! I didn't even see it. I just think it's funny. I don't know what I think is funny, but like, yeah, I don't know. And also, like, I'm too much on that content creator grind to have time for relationships. I don't know. There's just like, I don't know. That's some of my funny dating stories. Oh man. Okay, where am I going? Probably -Z. Which is the opposite way of where I've been going. I don't have time. I have 64 subscribers and 70. You laugh, but like, oh man, it's like I really don't have the time or energy for like relationships. I really don't. And just like, I I don't know. I'm kind of just like, I think a lot of this is just like leftover from my not great relationship and having someone constantly blow up at me if I wasn't constantly available to talk to them. But that's definitely not related. I don't know where you. It sounds fake. Sounds fake. I don't know. I just don't have the emotional energy, you know? It takes so much energy to be, like, emotionally available for people. And I don't know. I could sit here and make up so many excuses for why I'm not in a relationship, but we all know it comes down to the fact that I'm inherently unlikable and just overall not a great person. I say it like a joke, but like, I don't know, I'm kind of in a place where I need way more therapy before I could ever consider, like, you know, being in a stable, happy, healthy relationship. Hi, sir. Got weather, man? And also, like, it just, I don't know. I'm just kind of, like, content, you know? For, like, one of the first times in my life, you know, I'm just content like this. I'm not dying, because growing up watching, like, so many movies just kind of, like, warps your, like, view of the world. Like, I think it's kind of dumb how just so much of the media that, like, we consume from children just idealizes romances and is like, oh, you're not a whole person unless you're in a relationship. Inherently unlikable and overall not a great person. Dude, you're the only streamer that is not someone I knew outside of Twitch beforehand that I watched consistently. That's with someone who I didn't think was likable. You see, I have this, like, theory about myself, that, okay, I have to figure out coordinates first, and then I can talk about my story. Okay. Towards 9MC. Yeah, this is the way I'm going. Okay, I figured it out. But it's like, acquaintances think I'm really cool and likable. And then, like, friends are like, no, you're kind of just an awful person. And that's something I'm working on, but it's like, I feel like the more you get to know me, the less you like me. And I don't know. It sounds kind of sad when I say it out loud, but, like, it's kind of true. I don't know. I guess I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it's one of the things called, I need a lot of therapy, and so, like, I just have a lot of problems, and it's like, man, I would be so much more of a likable person if I didn't deal with, like, mental illnesses. But, like, you can't change things like that, you know? You gotta play with the deck you gotta play with the hand you're dealt. You can't just halfway through the game slam your cards down and just give up because, you know, like, you weren't dealt the royal flush, you know, first try. And so you just gotta keep going and work on improving it. Just step by step, build yourself into something better. Tiamana's same, and I know compliments don't usually go to helping someone change that kind of perspective on themselves, but that's what I think. Tiana, same with therapy stuff, but mental health is not handled well in the UK. I have no idea about, like, therapy and stuff in other countries because I barely know anything about the country I live in and the way it's usually dealt with. And stuff, but it's like, I feel like everybody should be in therapy at least once, you know? Because it's like, I don't know how anyone could get through, like, childhood without some kind of, like, something, you know? Everybody's got some kind of baggage. And, like, therapy's pretty good if you have a therapist who is the right one for you. I have had some bad experiences with things in the past, but, like, you know, I realize a lot of that, you know, is just what comes down to something a field so subjective and hard to, like, objectively measure, like therapy. Like, how do you actually merit, like, how do you, like, objectively measure the, like, effectiveness of, like, a specific kind of therapy style? Because it's like each person is so unique, and, like, how do you objectively measure something as abstract and confusing and complicated as, like, mental health, you know? I just think it's so interesting and fascinating, and I don't know, it's one of those things where I feel like more people should be open about mental health, but there's a difference between, like, advocating for mental health and then using your mental illness as a excuse to get away with toxic behavior. Because just because it gives an explanation does not mean it gives an excuse. Like, I've done a lot of awful things because of my mental health to people, and I know it's an explanation for why I behaved like that, but, like, it does not excuse any of the behavior and all of the things I did that hurt people because of it. I don't have enough experience in therapy to disagree or agree. Yeah. When I was, my music got paused. Okay, there we go. When I was in freshman year, so I was, like, I had just turned 15 at this point. I was kind of forcefully put into therapy because I had a doctor at, like, you know, normal checkup, whatever, be like, you're not leaving my office until you have an appointment set with, like, a counselor, therapist person, because I'm concerned. And very justifiably so, because of things. And so I got put in therapy, and I was in therapy for about 1.5 years, but I got bounced around between different therapists, which was not a great thing for me because of my, like, specific issues and stuff. And so I did not handle that well. And so this was right around when I dropped out of high school. I also just, like, stopped going to therapy because I just kind of shut down, man, to be honest. And I was also on antidepressants for a while, and they were not the right ones for me, and I had a lot of bad side effects, but, like, that's just because my family history has really bad side effects with, like, everything, and also, like, misdiagnosed, you know, that kind of thing. So I was out of therapy for a couple years, but I'm back in therapy, which has been good. We did go a long way from talking about how hot Ryan Mustang is. I read that sentence out loud. I feel pain. Yeah, but, you know, that's kind of how conversations go, you know? I will take any excuse to talk about mental health and, like, that kind of thing, just because it's so important to me. Because, I don't know. Hello, welcome to It Might Just Be That, like, I was very mentally ill for a very long time, and the area I grew up in, and, like, the culture I grew up in, was very much a, don't talk about your problems, mental health issues aren't real, pray to God, and be more thankful for what you have, and you will no longer be depressed. all your problems will be solved if you're just more grateful for, if you're just more grateful, and if you were a better Christian, then you wouldn't be depressed, which really just, let me just tell you, isn't a great mindset. And so it's like, that's one of the things that like really matters to me, is getting people like actual like information and talking about it, because it's, yeah. Fair. Also agreed, my friend did a hardcore Minecraft series with my friends, me being one of them, and I went off on my own and did a mental health TED talk for an hour and a half. I feel that, I feel that. Oh man. And you know, it's also like with me specifically, it's like I have been severely depressed since the time I was 10. And so it's like a lot of what I know and a lot of like my worldview is entirely shaped by, you know, like by like mental health stuff. Apparently it's gonna get cut from the final video for pacing reasons, but well, I don't know. I feel that, you know, sometimes you just get cut for pacing reasons. It's the curse, but that's it's how it goes. What am I doing? I'm putting away things. Okay, that's right. I don't know. I hear a dog walking around. That is my dog. I in fact have a dog. I forgot about that for a second. Oh, speaking of prom things. So like the stupid prom thing or whatever. My mom wanted to take photos of me in the dress or whatever, because my mother is just, I don't know. I'm the youngest, and so she's like, oh, none of your siblings went to prom. And I'm like, this literally isn't a prom. We're literally just gonna stand in our backyard for like a couple hours. So I took like prom photos. The thing is, I took them with my dog. So it's just me like petting my dog and just sitting in the grass, wearing this just stupid like prom dress. And I just think that's funny. I just think it's funny. I don't have anything more to say or add to that. You know, it's not important or valuable at all, but I just think it's funny, you know? I don't know. Ow, my back is killing me, and by back I mean one specific muscle in one of my shoulders is dying, and I feel like I'm in pain, but it's fine because we're living up in New York City. I don't know what that song is, but it's stuck in my head. I feel like a goldfish. Glub glub. I miss having pet fish. I feel like I talk about that a lot though. Because my sister murdered all my pet fish, but like, we don't talk about it because like, it's fine. The cow pit looks worse than ever? You mean better than ever. I should probably finish building the barn. I should probably work on that instead of whatever I'm doing. Or like the stairway to Glenn's house, to Glenn's. They're clipping so badly. They're clipping so badly. It's kind of impressive, to be honest. Okay. So the roof of that, I'm thinking bricks because I have a couple of them. Okay, if I smelt, how do I make, wait. I'm trying to remember how to make bricks. The cow pit looks like a shot from a dystopian horror film? Yeah, that's because it is. Little did you know. Oh man, okay, that's what I've been doing. I've been getting back into like reading and stuff because I'm like, hello, what if I get hobbies that make me feel joy instead of just, what if I get back into my hobbies? And the thing is, I love dystopian books. My favorite book for years, probably still is Fahrenheit 451. And I, because I read it like middle of middle school, like out of my own volition, fell in love with it. And like Ray Bradbury is one of my favorite authors if you just ignore the fact that like he was kind of racist and like he wasn't as misogynistic as most sci-fi writers of his time, but he definitely was. If you just ignore that, he's really good. The Cow Pit, a genre-defining classic made by the streamer. I will give them a little bit more free room. You see, they have so much free space. They're simply just so happy with the amount of free space. I have given them just the utmost comfort. They are happy and overjoyed. They have been given so much extra space to roam free. It's a cow river. It's not a pit anymore. It's my river of cows. That's amazing. I really like retro sci-fi. Sometimes I just have to forget that like I am female in order to enjoy it. Just like, I love Asimov's books. I just really gotta I just gotta put my headset in the I just gotta put my mindset into one of a cis straight white guy, and then I can enjoy Asimov's books, truly. But like, they're good, interesting ideas. He just forgets that women are people with lives outside of being wives. But isn't that just... That's the 1950s for you. They're so happy with the amount of free space they have. If it continues at this rate, they'll create a singularity. No, they have so much free space. They're so overjoyed and happy. I can hear their screams of joy. My back is killing me, and I'm going to start a forest fire. Not really, I'm just gonna start one in video games, except for not really, because... Ow, my back hurts. That is the moral of the story. Maybe I should stand up. I haven't done that in like an hour and a half. Imagine standing up. Could not be me. I would rather... What would I rather? Brain? Are you gonna finish that brain? I'm really trying, but apparently the words are just not existing. I can hear their screams of joy from here. That better go in the highlights channel. It probably will, it probably will. I've been trying to post daily, but then I forgot, and I randomly checked it because, I accidentally clicked on the wrong YouTube channel because I was checking something, and one of the videos randomly got a lot of views, and I'm like, whoa, it's gone up in like 10 subscribers from like last night. What is happening? And it's because the cow pit video. It's the cow pit video just decided to do well, and I'm like, great, okay, great. My highlights channel where I just repost TikToks is gonna overtake my main channel soon, but that's okay because I haven't posted like an actual like video onto my main channel in like 60 days because I'm dumb. And part of me is like, I should rewatch some of my old content that I posted before I rebranded, because like some of it I'm sure is good or interesting in some sort of capacity, but like I don't know if I want to do that, because like I don't know if I want to deal with very depressed me. I don't know if I want to relive that. I don't know how shorts to do on YouTube. It does kind of fit with the content. Maybe I have, I don't know. I want to post like longer clips or whatever, you know, like, cause I've got one that I edited where it's just a, it's a funny moment, but it's like 3 minutes long. Or, no, it's like 5 minutes long or something. And so it's too short to like be a main thing. And so I'm just gonna dump it there and be like, it's fine. I've been really wanting to do editing stuff, and there's this one like video series thing that I'm like really excited about making, but that involves talking to people, which is something I'm bad at. And so I haven't done anything with the idea yet, but it's fine because at least I don't know. Or maybe it's like my one successful video where it's dumb luck. I think it's a mixture of both, you know? The algorithm's all luck, and then from there you just have to have a backload of content to, so, you know, like, sustain it, you know? I don't know. You know, it's the stupid shorts have overtaken any of the content that I put, like, genuine effort in. Like, back when I actually made YouTube content, like, one of the assignments I did for, like, a class or whatever I posted, YouTube got a whole bunch of views, but, like, all of them from Russia, and I'm like, this is funny. This is very funny to me. Because it was such a bad video. Because it's, like, we had to talk about, like, some kind of, like, cyber, like, secure. I forget exactly what the assignment was, but I did it on the whole, like Elsagate thing, because that was back when that was relevant. You know, it's the whole, like, the really creepy, like, Spider-Man Elsa videos and stuff that were appearing on, like, you know, like, kids' YouTube stuff. Like, I made a video talking about that, like, a year after it happened or whatever, because I had to make something for this class, and that was the only thing I could think of, and I just, it's really bad. I have this one consistent, what's the idea? Out of curiosity, unless it's a secret, and it's a secret, yeah. I'll talk about that in a second. I have this one consistent commenter called Cannonball King, and whoever they are, they keep the channel going. They're so well spoken with their comments and sometimes funny. That's always good, you know? You know, it's like, you know, like the people who, like, really show up to my streams, you know? Like, that's part of why I stream, is because I'm like, man, they're pretty cool. The idea is, it's like a, I'm gonna get people together, like, probably to start with, I'm just gonna bug, like, Alexi and, like, maybe one of my other friends, and it will be, like, a, like, crash course how to improv sort of thing, but specifically, like, how to do improv stuff in video games, and I'll run through, like, different, like, improv exercises to get better at it, and, like, that kind of thing, and it'll be, the whole, like, premise of it is it's sort of like a game show, where I'm the presenter, and I'm with the people, and I ran through the skits and stuff, and I break down, like, okay, here's what went wrong with this improv thing, and, like, here's how you can improve, and here's, like, a basic, like, rule of, like, improv, and it's sort of like a dissecting, like, how to do improv well, and it's like a game show of, it's like you've got the contestant who doesn't really do improv stuff, and it's just the, like, this is an amateur doing it, and we're gonna, like, help them go through it, you know? That's an amazing concept. I just pogged IRL and I'm both ashamed and amazed. I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in you. Yeah, I thought of it, and I'm like, that's really cool, and I've got some plans. I just need to, like, bug people into filming. Because, you know, it's like, you know, it's like the whole thing of, like, don't say no, it's like the yes and explaining what that actually means, and breaking it down and being like, okay, so when you're, like, doing, like, improv specifically with video games, there's a whole different, like, skill thing, and, you know, it's like a, so you wanna, like, Minecraft roleplay, so you wanna learn improv, you know? It's that whole thing, and I'm just like, because I feel like it's interesting. And, you know, and I also feel like I know enough about improv, because, like, I ran an improv group for, like, a couple years, that, like, no, the cow pit, they're rising, they're ascending, oh no, what have I done? No, they're gaining freedom, this is the worst possible thing, I must kill all the survivors, they must not know a life of freedom, they must only exist in the cow pit, that is, oh, this is the worst possible thing to ever happen, oh, the cow pit, get back in the pit, get back in the pit, get back in the pit, oh, please, please, oh, I gotta kill all the survivors, oh, I need to maintain my dystopian authoritative control. The cow pit is once again rested. Just another day in the life of maintaining the cow pit. I just used 3 adjectives starting with the word A. You know, I'm invested. That's genuinely a brilliant and novel concept, especially considering how well video game improv content does on YouTube. And a game show, deconstructing it sounds amazing. I would totally check it out, even if it wasn't made by someone I was following. News be free, cows be free. No, the cows don't deserve freedom. They're imprisoned for life. They have committed crimes. You know, this is the dystopian authoritative... This is my dystopian, authoritative government ruler arc. You know, I am going to take control and I am going to oppress. I need to stop talking. I just realized I've been yelling very loudly and I'm pretty sure my mother can hear me talking, and I really don't want to have to explain this. I need to maintain my dystopian authority control. You ever get a merch line that had better be on a shirt or I'll cry? Okay. If I ever make merch, you better remind me. Because I'll probably do it, because that's funny. This is a mood. This is why I don't drink caffeine. This is why I don't drink caffeine. I gotta stand up. I need to shake up. I feel like my grasp of being a human person with words has been destroyed by the cow pit. I don't know how to recover from that. I'm gonna start crying. Let's go. Okay. Please drink more caffeine on stream. Today went from to good to bad to now to amazing. This is what I had subscribed for. I need to stop laughing. Oh man. I've been watching this one like booktube YouTuber or whatever. I feel like this is where some of this energy is coming from. But I lost all sense of what the thought was, and it was gone. Oppress those cows, Ray. You go. I do need to oppress the cows. What was I thinking? You know, like oppression for the masses, baby. I'm gonna sell oppression in a bottle. I should think through what I say, because like, man, this is very out of context. Okay, so like, this is the part in the dystopian novel where you find out the government has some like dumb plan that does not make sense, and mine is to breed up the cow pit until they start clipping. And by that I mean dying from entity cramming. You know, this is the, like, hello, I am the YA dystopian novel villain that I've always dreamed of being. You know, I get to wear elaborate fur coats and feather boas, and no one can question it because I'm evil. I'm gonna sell oppression in a bottle as a gift I'm making right now. Oh man. Oh, this is fine. You know, truly, like, more people should want to grow up to be supervillains. I'm just saying, like, have a little fun, live a little, oppress a giant pit full of cows. You know, okay, I need to teach them a lesson. because too many of them have escaped and felt what some might call joy and the outside world, so I must trim them to keep their fear in check, because how can I be an evil dystopian ruler without excessive force? You know, if I don't fill them with fear, how will they know that I am in charge? You know, if you keep them afraid, they cannot revolt. That is how it works, you know? Unless one of them happens to be a pretty brown-haired teenage girl who happens to be special. That's the only flaw in my plans. Good thing none of these cows have genders. I've seen oppressive governments with more humanity. What are you talking about? I'm human. Look at me. I have skin. You see, the real truth of the matter, though, is I have wings. So, I'm very cool. Yes. I'm a good, you see, it's justifiable. You see, I have wings, clipped as though they might be, and they have none because they're cows. Therefore, I'm inherently more humane than them. You know, a higher percentage of me is human. Therefore, this is... Please drink caffeine in every stream. You realize I only drink caffeine like 2 times a month. That's it. That's as much caffeine as I consume, because I feel like everyone who has to deal with me on a regular basis they sure sign up for a lot. When they don't sign up for anything, you know? It's like I have taken their hands and I have forcefully made them sign a contract without their knowledge, you know? Like I broke into their house, you know? I got their fingerprints while they were asleep, and I used their pens to sign forms, signing them up for this chaos. You see, this is why I'm an agent of chaos, and nobody trusted me with breakable objects. They still don't. People are like, oh, you can't carry your laptop around the house because I know you're gonna break it. And I'm like, you are correct, but I haven't fallen down onto the linoleum. I haven't fallen down onto tile floors randomly in like 6 months. Please stream both of those times a month. This is amazing. I feel like part of this is just I have been awake since 11 p.m. Baby, I know how time works. I'm a wizard. I don't think that... Wait. That doesn't make sense. Do I have any left? I do! I'm gonna commit so many war crimes. The Geneva Convention has nothing on what's about to happen. You know, they're gonna have to add a whole new preamble because of me. I should not joke about committing war crimes. I feel like that crosses a line. I saw, and when I woke up, you were playing Hollow Knight again. Don't call me out for playing Hollow Knight for like 4 hours every single night at like 3 a.m. I've been working on my 116% file, and so I've just been doing Pantheon runs all night because I can't sleep, and I'm like, you know what sounds good? Pain and suffering, baby. Every time I wake up, you're playing it. I don't have a problem. I don't have over 125 hours in Hollow Knight and like 40 of those are not 40. It's just 20. It's only 35 that have been logged in the past 4 days. It's fine. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. Buy Persona 4. Okay, I've actually heard good things about Persona 4, or like the Persona games, and I do want to play them. I I don't have a problem. This isn't like the time I played Stardew Valley for literally 100 hours in less than a week. It's not like that, I promise. I promise. I don't have a problem. I just have a non-functional sleep schedule. I just started watching like Hollow Knight speedrunners again, and I'm like, that be looking kinda. I was just about to say that was looking kind of fine, but then I realized what I was saying, and so now I'm saying it instead, but in a way that makes it sound like I'm disappointed in myself, and I'm not at all serious, and I sound like I'm talking like a Muppet. Because I'm getting that really annoying high-pitched like sing-songy voice that I do when I get like, I don't know, I need to take a deep breath. Red Dead 2 has a good story. Don't know if it's a good price anymore though. I've heard really good things about Red Dead. One of my good friends, that's like one of their favorite game series of all time is like Red Dead Redemption, because they play it all the time, and I've listened to them talk about it and I'm like, cowboys. I feel like you understand now why everyone who went to high school with me thinks that I did some kind of drugs. Every good thing you've heard is true. I thought it was hyperbole, but I was wrong. I don't like westerns, and honestly, I don't care for the first one. Okay, I will probably check that out at some point. Hollow Knight is kind of like my favorite game of all time, and so I just keep playing it a lot. It's one of my favorite games of all time. There's also a lot of other ones. Like, I have recently got my 3DS, and I'm playing through New Horizons. Yes, nope, that's the wrong one. I was just about to congratulate myself for getting the right one, but no, it's the wrong one. I've been playing through New Leaf because I wanted New Leaf since I was 12. I literally, like, worked so hard to save up the money to buy myself a 3DS when I was literally 12, and then I couldn't. Then I did not buy a copy of. I did not buy any copy of New Leaf until literally this year when my sister gave it to me for Christmas and was like, "Here you go. I know you've wanted this for literally like 6 years, so here it is, boy." Fair. Hollow Knight is very good. Also, did I ever ask you about your opinion on the reveal of Slime Rancher 2? I'm very excited because I really like Slime Rancher, but at the same time, looking at the trailer, I don't know how I feel. Because I don't like the look of the new slimes. They just don't look like slimes, you know? They don't have the same kind of, like, simplified charm to them. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking of, like, the bunny looking one, where it doesn't look like a slime, you know? I don't know. And I'm excited because I love Slime Rancher and I want more of the game, and it looks like the sequel is just going to be like more of the same game but with different environments and different slimes. But like, I don't know. I think the art looks really good, but it doesn't have the same feeling, you know? Although towards the end of Slime Rancher, they're all losing that simplicity. Kind of, but like, like different though, because it's like, I really like the mosaic slime. There's the purple spinny one, that one's okay. I like the tangle slime though. Yeah, I kind of get it. And what was the other ones? What were the other slimes? Glass desert slimes. Brain, please supply me. I don't know. Also, I don't know. I feel like the slime concepts are gonna get more complex, whereas in the original game they were pretty simple. Because it's like, oh, this one is a rock, this one is a cat, this one is a different cat. There are 3 different cat slimes in the game, but like I don't question it because meow, meow, money kitty. I forgot the stupid thing I wanted. And I like the mosaic slime, and it's like, I feel like, yeah, I liked it, but I don't know how they're gonna come up with new interesting slimes without like, I worry that the new slimes are going to be too complicated, or like, I don't know. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Saw blade, that's what I wanted. Okay. I don't know. I wonder how many hours I have in Slime Rancher. I hope merging slimes has more of an incentive. I completely disagree. I never felt the urge, like, I never felt any reason to keep the slimes separated because they were just so much more profitable as Largos. And like, I literally didn't see the point in keeping a pen of single slimes because you could get these, with the same amount of food, you could get twice the amount of plorts. And you could get profitable stuff so much easier. I don't know. We're gonna do that. Other than that, all I want is more Slime Rancher. I had a farm of just Largos and it got out of hand too quick for me personally, especially merging the spinny slime with anything. I actually never had any problems with like Largo breakouts or anything like that. And like most of the slimes I worked with were the really annoying ones, like Hunters and what is the other one that I worked with? Quantums. I worked with Quantums a lot and I hate them so much, but like it's fine. Okay, I want to know how many hours I have in the game. Let me just... Okay. I'm actually gonna share this. I'm just gonna use this one. Properties. That one. That's the wrong monitor. Oh well. I'm just gonna move this stuff over. And what is the right thing? Whatever. It's fine. Okay, so it's... Where's the stupid thing and the stupid, Bruh, It's fine. We're just gonna... We're gonna do the Scuffed because, Scuffed is my middle name. Okay. So, let's see. Okay. So Hollow Knight, I have 120 hours. It's fine. It's fun. It's funky. Let's see what's another game I actually play. I played a lot of Crypt of the Necrodancer. It's actually the first game I ever streamed. Don't Starve, I've got 40 hours. I've got 75 on Together. I hate this game. Every time you see me playing it late at night, just ignore it, please. This is one I've been meaning to complete in my free time. What is the game I was looking for, though? What was the... Slime Rancher. Actually... Slime Rancher... There it is. I have 120 hours, but I actually have more than that because I started using my Epic Games account version of it because I own that one. Okay. I started playing Slime Rancher before it had, like, a win. I played it way back in, like, the first release that, where, like, before Hunter Slimes were added. That's when I started playing Slime Rancher. So I've been playing it for a long time, and I love the story so much. I never worked out how to keep the quantums. I gave up. Yeah, no, I had a problem called I was very unhappy in life, and so I just poured everything I had into farming games. It's kind of a theme in my life, you know. I just fell off the building. Yeah, and I also, you know, I'm very much a, like, once you're done with the game, you don't have to keep playing any further, you know? Like, there's a lot of games that people are like, oh, you should keep playing, it's good. You just haven't got to the good part. I hate when people say, oh, you just haven't got to the good part, because, like, yeah, sometimes it's right. Like, there are in fact some things where it's like, okay, this person doesn't like it because they haven't got to the good part. But I hate when people say it because rude. Bold of you to assume I have the time and energy to get to the good part, as you might say. I'm actually working on the barn. Wow, look at me, character development, baby. Baby? I used to say baby all the time. I hate it so much though. Probably one of my top 10 worst character traits is the fact I say baby. Like, baby, BB, unironically, all of the time. And also babe. I literally at one point was like, okay, we're in a new arc. Yes. I used to say babe literally every like 4 seconds. It was rude. And it wasn't even like, oh, like I'm using it as a pet name for like my partner or whatever. And I just literally call everything babe in my entire life. And it was that or honey, or like honey bunny. That was another very common one. You see, I unfortunately had my like hunbot phase, which we're not going to talk about. We're not going to talk about the fact I say girl boss occasionally. It's truly like one of my worst character flaws, and I'm working on it. I need to stop calling people dude because some people really hate it, and I seriously need to stop. Yeah. I actually completely like changed the way I address people. You know, I say y'all now. I didn't used to. I used to be a guys, you know, like you guys, like, okay guys, let's go kind of beat. But then I'm like, you know, let's change that, and apparently it landed on y'all. So like, I'm really just embodying the spirit of like my grandma, my like great grandmother, Samad, whatever, I don't actually know, who was a very Southern belle lady, and she moved half across the country to marry a man who she had only seen in person once and talked to once, and they'd only exchanged like a dozen or so letters. Apparently that is the energy I'm carrying into 2022, because baby, the year's over. I know it's only July. Yeah, it's only July, but this year is over because I've decided that I'm going to go through an arc. I have decided the start of the year is July because that's when I no longer feel extremely depressed from winter. I need to stop talking. Oh man. You know, I wish I believed in like reincarnation. Because if I did, I would have so many cool stories, and I'd have so many cool things. That's how, because like, okay, so, I have a dead, like, great aunt, Samad, whatever, who has the exact same, like, name as me. I'll pause the story for a second. Speaking of July, my birthday is on the 1st. My friend decided to buy me honey pot for my birthday, and I've never been so one hand, that's very funny, but on the other hand, It's still very funny. It's the kind of painful funny that I'm gonna laugh at you. He now refuses to tell me his birthday in return, so I can't do the same to him back. Oh, just give it to him for like a random holiday, like Halloween or like, I have no idea what holidays are like international and not. I'm bad. Just give it to him. Be like, Happy Halloween. It's funny. I think it's funny. But like I have like a dead like great aunt who died like shortly before I was born, who has the exact same name as me and has like the same color hair and has like a very similar like temperament. And literally when I was like a baby and we went to like a family party or whatever and they saw the name tag on me, they're like, oh no, she's been reincarnated. And you see, I wish I believed in reincarnation because that would be very funny. It'd be so incredibly funny. I could... You see, I wish I believed in reincarnation because that would be... It's cool! But instead, I'm just... You know, some days I'm just disappointed to be an atheist. Just because, like, religion and that kind of thing is just so cool when you take it out of the context of, like, cultures that are incredibly obsessed with shame and blame and hating people for, you know, using this really interesting, like, religion and belief in the world and using it just to shame people and hate people and justify crime, like murder and all sorts of things. It's so cool. And it is just like, man, I love learning about like different religions. I'm rather happy to not be religious. I've unfortunately had too many bad experiences with people who are, same. Yeah, I grew up in a very like Mormon area. My like whole family is Mormon and that kind of thing. And like it's I don't hate any of the people, but like a lot of the things that happened because of the religion really hurt me. And so I just I can't, you know? But I think it's so cool, like, and it's like, I don't believe in like an afterlife or anything like that. And it just like, I love hearing people who do talk about it because it's just something so cool and that matters so much to them. And I just really love to hear what people are passionate about because, you know, the way people talk about things that they like strongly believe in and are like passionate about, it's one of the best things in the world. Hydrate. You haven't drank caffeine in a while? There is still some left. Ah, I just spilled some on my pants. That's rude. The can is basically empty though. Okay. I just, that's one of the things I love about people, and I just, I love how much people love religion, but like at the same time, like talking with one of my sisters who's like super religious, it's kind of a wild experience because it's like she can't conceptualize anyone who believes differently than her, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like that's just a problem of she's never lived in the quote-unquote real world before. By the real world, I mean anywhere outside of the extremely religious area that, you know, like I grew up in. I don't know, because like, I don't think there's anything bad with religion or like nothing inherently bad with religion or like believing in a god. Like, I think it's really cool, and you know, it's something that brings a lot of people a lot of comfort, and there's nothing wrong with that. And like, that's something I really admire. But then it's just the whole, like, I feel like said people should probably interact with people who don't, that's probably good. But yeah, I also agree there. I love nothing more than letting people rant about what they love. Seriously, I've done it with complete strangers I've never talked to since. Yeah, it's great. This is gonna sound really creepy out of context, but I like going to like the public park that's like close to where I live. And I'll just go, and these children will find me, and they'll just tell me stories, and I love it. And I'll sit and listen and talk to them, because, you know, when I was their age, all I wanted in the world was someone to take the time to listen to my stories and engage with me about a conversation about, like, Stephen King that I really, you know? It's just like, little kids just need to be heard out, you know? And I feel like, unfortunately, we live in a lot of time where the interests and like things that matter to little kids aren't ever really taken seriously by adults. No one has the time or the energy to deal with children and their like hobbies and stuff. And, you know, like, that's one of the things that like I really hated, because I go to cons and or whatever, and I talk to people, and just no one wanted anything to do with me because I was a kid, which, like, justified. I too dislike children, but you don't have to let them know that. Yeah, there isn't anything wrong with people believing in it. It's just a few people box themselves into an echo chamber off some really horrible thing. Thanks. Yeah, I don't want any, like, kid that I know to ever feel the way I did when I was a kid. I don't want any of them to feel like no adults in their life listen to them or talk to them or take them, you know, seriously. Like, so I don't know. Like, I try really hard with, like, my nieces and nephews, because, like, that's something they're gonna remember. Like, even, like, me taking the time out of my day to, you know, talk to one of them about, like, I don't know, like, pirates, or whatever, like, weird murder mystery story they're telling this week. They're gonna remember it. And that's all I can hope for, is that they'll remember that, you know, at least one person in their life listened to what they had to say and cared about it, you know? Because it's like, I remember being a child and having just this feeling like nobody wanted anything to do with me, and that no matter how hard I tried or how smart I was, or like how like well researched I was on a topic or anything like that, that nobody would ever take anything I said seriously. And so it's just like, I try my best to make sure that they never have that feeling of being ignored just because they are a child. I don't know, it's the whole, like, be the person that you wanted in your life as a kid, which is, like, kind of dumb to say out loud, but, like, I feel like if more people truly acted the way that they desperately wanted people to treat them as a kid, you know, we'd have a lot more, like, mentally sound, you know, like, kids. It's not something I can particularly do myself, but if I could, I would. Yeah, you know, it's just one of those things where it's just like, I don't know, I have a lot of contact with small children because I don't know, I just attract kids who just desperately need validation, which is fine. I feel like they can sense a kindred spirit with me, where it's like, both of us just desperately are craving the approval and attention of anyone, so they just find me. And it's just, you know, every day you've just got to make the choices to be the best person you can be. In the words of one of my actual, like, favorite, favorite like movie characters, not movie, TV show characters, I don't believe there's a deep down in any of us. You know, you can't be good deep down or bad deep down. It's just what you are, you know? Every action you make is who you are. And so you've just gotta keep making good choices. And that's the only way to be a good person. Because it doesn't matter if you're good deep down or bad deep down. I branched off from the quote here, but it's like, it doesn't matter if you're inherently like deep down good or bad, because it's just your individual actions that shape you into the person that you are. You're a good person if you do good, and you're a bad person if you do harm. And it's like, I feel like I have my fair share of things that I'm trying to not necessarily make up for, but just prove that I've changed. And one of them is just, it's like, there's a lot of people in my life who, if they were to tell me that they never wanted to see me ever again or talk to me again, I would understand completely and accept that decision. But because of that, I try my best every single day to prove that, I've changed, that, and work towards being a person that's worthy of being in their life. The quote, I don't think I said it, it's from BoJack Horseman. It's one of the quotes that, like, Diane says. I know Diane is, like, a controversial character, but I really like her because in a lot of scenes, it's, like, I felt like she was very similar to me in a lot of ways, and then she also very strongly represents someone who matters a lot to me. I'll just put it that way. And it's just like, I love Diane, she's great. Yeah, she is. I love BoJack Horseman. I don't think I could rewatch it though, because I don't think I'm ready to cry for 3 weeks again. Because watching it, I recognize a lot of my own behaviors in, like, BoJack, and a lot of the way his and, like, Diane's relationship very closely paralleled a friendship that I had. Like a friendship relationship that I had with someone. And after I finished watching the show, I sent them a very long apology message. It's a very good show. And it actually helped me get over one of my crucial character flaws, haha. Because I mentioned it earlier or whatever, but it's one of the breakups I had. Someone said something to me that really just crushed me and completely just filled me with hate for a very long time, and it's through one of the characters in it. I was like, oh, wait, yeah, no, this thing that which I know is dumb that I was still holding on to, I really just need to let go of. And I did, I'm not going into details because it's embarrassing to me personally. One of the few things I'm embarrassed about. Put that on my tombstone, boy. Don't put that on my... I don't know where the write that on my gravestone came from, but, like, I sure do say it a lot. I will talk about it because I will. But one of the people I dated, after we broke up, they came to me and was like, because we were, like, talking about, like, the, like, relationship or whatever, because we remained good friends afterwards and stuff. And it's like, they're like, oh, I realized I was asexual through dating you. And let me just tell you, I was like, I was very young, and I used to be a whole lot more, like, petty and, like, egotistical, and I did not take any sort of, like, negative feedback well, unless it was, like, on, like, writing stuff, but, like, I did not handle anything like that well at all. And so I just held a lot of anger about that for a very long time, which I knew was very irrational, and so I kept it inside, you know? And it's like, I literally don't care at all anymore. But at the time, you know, it's just, it was representative of like, oh man, maybe if things were different, then this relationship would have worked out. Spoiler alert, no, it wouldn't have. Please just let go of your past relationships instead of holding on to them for literal years because you cannot move on because you're an idiot. That's my note to my past self. I'm gonna stop talking before I inevitably say something that I regret. It's one of those things where it's just like, man, I was a dumb kid and I didn't take it well. And like, I'm grown from then. I saw a lot of myself in BoJack, but that was strangely horrifying but nice. I didn't know the word for it, but seeing a 40-year-old go through the same emotions and lose people because of themselves is crushingly dreadful, and the paranoia of me being stuck losing people for years. But then the fact he's put in a path for change so many times, and despite screwing up so many times, those mistakes having permanent consequences and people were still there for him, watching, that was nice, I guess. Yeah, the Twitch character limit's a bit longer. I don't know, watching it for me was kind of like a wake-up call that I really needed. Because I saw my own like self-destructive habits and just a lot of things just reflected back exactly in BoJack. And I'm like, man, I did a lot of very similar things to this, and I've had a lot of very similar conversations with people. I will remember this, it's the second to last episode of the first season, where it's the Ghostwriter conference, and BoJack goes up to Diane and says, do you think I could ever be a good person? Do you think I'm a good person? And Diane just can't say anything and just looks at him. And that scene crushed me because I had something very similar to that happen in my own life, where I approached someone who I had hurt and that kind of thing, and just desperately needed them to I desperately needed their validation to prove that I desperately needed them specifically to tell me that I was a good person. And you see, yeah. And so it really hit hard for me, and I'm like, man, I really need to like change things and make a lot more apologies for a lot of things. Because I very much is watching BoJack, where the like mindset that just because you have an explanation doesn't mean it's an excuse, or the explanation doesn't matter, really was when that really sank into me. And like, just because I have an explanation for a lot of my like awful behavior and the way I treated people does not make it justified or right, and I owe a lot of people a lot more apologies for things. And that's also kind of when I realized, like, man, a lot of these people, why are they still here for me? Because I feel like, I don't know, I very much felt like, I felt like a villain in a show who wasn't deserving of a redemption arc. I think BoJack Horseman spoke to a lot of people, which I think is a testament to how great the show was, or it shows how messed up our generation is for being able to relate so well to 30 or 40-year-olds going through the same thing we can relate to. I think it showed mental illness in a very realistic, but it showed mental health in a very realistic way of, it showed the realities of like depression and trying to escape your problems and stuff like that, without glamorizing it. And it's, you know, it took a completely unlikable character with like very little redeeming qualities and made a whole lot of people care about him. Not really care about him, but just see themselves in him, you know? It was really humanizing. And it's also just like, it touched on a lot of things which I don't think a lot of people want to acknowledge. Like the prevalence of using like alcohol and stuff to escape problems, because, you know, like alcoholism is kind of ignored and not really treated as a real issue. You know, you know, alcohol is not really taken seriously. And so it's, a lot of people don't really realize just how, you know, it can be used exactly just as a coping mechanism, you know? And how easily it can turn into something worse. Because, like, the glamorization and idealization of, like, alcohol is a really big problem I have with, like, a lot of, like, current, like, shows and stuff. Because, you know, I picked up a lot of that, and I have, like, problems glamorizing, like, oh, you know, I could just drink and that would get rid of all my problems, which mostly comes from, like, the way media handles alcohol. I'm sorry, I just like talking about things like this because they're things that really matter to me. Haha, cow pit anarchy, baby, haha. And it's just like, in modern media, there's a lot of glorification of very toxic things. And it's something that we all kind of, I hope we all kind of realize on some level, but it's just left unaddressed because it's much easier just to sweep the problem under the rug. I like talking about these things too. I just turn into a wreck when I do. I just have a lot of practice. There's some things that really matter to me a lot that when I try to talk to, I just turn into a crying mess. And so, like, mental health and, like, this, like, media and the way it affects, like, teenagers and the way they view things, like, that's something I can talk about because I've written, like, essays on this for classes and stuff, because of course I have, because I'm extremely pretentious. Haven't you noticed? I'm extremely pretentious, haven't you noticed? Okay. There's so many things I care about. And it's just, there's a lot of romanticization of a lot of unhealthy things. Like, especially, like, relationship stuff, too, in media. Mate, you think you're pretentious? Have you seen my YouTube? Oh boy, my old YouTube content was extremely pretentious. But, like, we're not gonna talk about it. Man, oh man, if I fear the day that I ever show people my first ever short film that I created, and I created for a short class, for a class, because oh boy, because it was for a project, and it was a video, and the whole, like, project of that whole class was, it was tied into another, like, psychology thing. But my specific thing I was doing it on was media bias, like, focus on, like, influencers and, like, the way they review products and stuff, and how they might not have the best in, you know, there's like shady things going on, like, oh, I'm not gonna say anything negative about this brand because I want to stay on their PR list, So I'm going to talk about their products positively, even though I don't have a positive opinion of them, because I have a vested interest in maintaining good relationships with the brands. And also, this was back in, math please, 2017, 2018. So undisclosed sponsorships were still a really prevalent thing in like the beauty, fashion, and like makeup spheres. It was a really big problem. And also it's like the whole like brand trips of like I'm gonna say positive things about this brand, so they keep sponsoring my vacations to Fiji. And also like, I don't want to say anything negative about this brand because of the deal that I have with them, where they provide me with like $500 of like in-store credit to buy a bunch of clothes to do a haul of. And so I don't want to say anything negative about the clothes because this is a really good opportunity, you know, like that kind of thing. So that's kind of the like focus that I had for that whole like class and that whole like thing. So, but it was slightly different because the essay, like you have to write an essay and also like produce a video, and mine were like not really, they were like semi-related, but the video I produced was a fictional like pop star, think like K-pop sort of thing, but like not K-pop. And it was just the whole like the showing the disparity between the public image of someone and their online persona, and how because of fame and like clout and trying to maintain their interests, people might completely go against like their own thing to promote things. The specific example was like pop idol Yuki, or whatever the name was like had like this whole like anti like drug alcohol like thing, and then at the end it's this like, you know, like thing of the like person like drinking and being like, man, I hate my job, or whatever. It was poorly done, but the whole idea was like exploring the whole it was exploring that whole what is the word? The disparity between the way creators present themselves online and their actual like lives. Just to maintain a better public image. I don't know. I read a lot of interesting things for that project. Like one of them was a paper that was examining the different depictions of the leader of Germany in World War II and the depictions of him in the media leading up to, during World War II, and after World War II had ended, and just examining how that had shifted in like newspapers and stuff. Another one the main one I used was this like undergraduate like thesis, like final paper, I forget what it's called. I think it's thesis, which was about the like 2012 election and showing analyzing the different like news sites for the way they depicted different candidates. Why did my chat just refresh? Weird. I don't know. It's that kind of thing. I think it's really interesting, but at the same time, I don't blame anyone for being like, this is really boring. Why is this something that matters to you a lot? But it does. It does. And it's just like, one of the big focuses was also just like, that I had was being like, a lot of influencers, when they're like sponsored by a product, they give a very positive review, despite on their actual feelings, because a lot of the times it's in the contract to give a positive review, at least back then. I feel like nowadays a lot more people have a lot more knowledge of how things like this should work, and so it's handled a lot better, and there's a lot better like contracts and stuff. set in place, but like, this kind of thing is very fascinating to me, and I will not shut up about it, okay? I'm sorry. I need to stop talking, but I refuse to, apparently. I don't know. I really miss doing projects like that. Part of me is wanting to, like, I don't know. Part of me wants to, like, start writing reviews for books again. I know that sounds so dumb. Like, oh yeah, you know, like, I'm gonna, like, find myself, and by find myself, I'm gonna mean I'm gonna create a Goodreads account and start reviewing books. And the first one, I'm this is my midlife crisis. Oh, what am I talking about? Hey, at least I worked on the barn. You can't hold that against me. Look at this cow river. They look so miserable. I love that for them. Okay, the plans with the cow pit is I'm going to take out probably about, I'm going to select 8 cows, the finest of the cows, to display them in my barn because my barn is decorative and not functional, and the rest will continue to live in the cow river till the end of time. I will build a bridge over the cow river once it widens and lengthens to the point I can no longer just jump across it like anyone would, you know? The cow pit has evolved into a cow river. Yeah, you know, I'm going to select them. You know, it's going to be like Hunger Games. I have not read Hunger Games, but I am, look at me, cultural osmosis at work, baby. I'm going to take, I'm going to take, what are they called? Not volunteers, tributes. I'm going to take tributes from the cow river, and they get to live in the barn, and it'll be great. The cow river is probably something out of Lovecraft. Probably. I don't know. Would you ever sell your soul to be a part of the cow river? You know, I feel like I could. What's that one story? Ismith. What is the full title? The one that's like Ismith. Bubba, Town of Ismith. People of Ismith, whatever. That one. You know, it's about the town full of the fish people and the fish cult. I feel like that. That's not relevant. What am I talking about? I genuinely don't understand what I was trying to say, but like, I completely lost the train of my thought. I would die before being forced to clip into other cows in a slowly expanding cow river for all of eternity. It's not all of eternity, it's just until you die. But unfortunately, Minecraft cows don't have lifespans. They don't naturally die. So I guess they are trapped here forever. This is their endless purgatory and punishment. I guess in a sense, I am God. And by that I mean, I am just, this is the punishment of the afterlife for all of these poor Minecraft cows, you know, like, this is, even if you die in the world, the cows are never free, they'll always be stuck there? Yeah, of course they will. That's kind of the whole plan. They're stuck here in eternity. This is their endless punishment. They're stuck in here in purgatory forever, trapped with me. Because you see, I too, you know, like, that is the one saving grace of a hardcore world, is that when you die, you'll be gone. Because if you think about it, any games where you can just respawn forever, your character will never actually be able to die. They're just constantly stuck here in this endless purgatory. Like, you can just keep going forever in Slime Rancher, and Beatrix will just forever be tending a ranch of slimes. And, you know, it goes against the core messages of the game, the core themes of that game, which are about moving on and letting go, and moving on when it's time. But Beatrix doesn't have that luxury. She's stuck there forever for all intents and purposes. She'll never get to be like Hobson or Casey and actually be able to move on. And so I guess it's a mercy to have death in this hardcore world. These cows won't be able to truly experience it. All they can experience is just the cow river, and it's all they've ever known. So who's to say if they can ever truly be unhappy with it? If you, what is the saying? You know, if you never experience true happiness, can you even experience pain? I don't know. There's a whole philosophical debate about whether or not, if you've ever experienced, you know, you can't experience joy without pain, and you can't experience pain without joy. Okay, I was okay with the BoJack philosophical musings, but you explaining the philosophy of the cow river to me is genuinely. Oh no, they're entity cramming. Oh no! Oh no! I must just. They're entity cramming. I was okay with the philosophical, but the cow river has generally thrown me for a loop. If the next time my friends peer pressure me into being drunk and I mention the cow river, I'm blaming you. Is it not wrong to think about philosophy? You see, the one and old. I can't. I'm not gonna tell that story. Get back in the pit. You do not have freedom. You cannot. You've ruined my psychological experiment by escaping. You cannot. Oh, you cannot dissuade me. Every block of extra space you add, they expand like a snake from Snake. Oh man, you see, it's just. No, get back in the pit, you stupid child. You don't deserve to get raised in another world like this. Man, part of me wants to reread Animal Farm. I hate the fact I just said that sentence because I just willingly admitted that I wanted to read like a high school English class book again for the second time this year. But like, I was talking about it with a friend in the kids. Get it back in the pit. Get back in the pit. No. Get back in your. No, you cannot escape. You cannot feel the fresh sun on your face. You must stay in prison forever. That is the only way that this works. You see, I don't know about you, friends, colleagues, whatever we might be, acquaintances. You can't just escape so easily from your life problems like that. You know, if I'm stuck in this Minecraft world, you may as well be too. But at least I have the hope of an eventual escape, and all you have is the hope that maybe one day you'll be the one chosen to be sacrificed with meat. And maybe if you're one of the lucky fews, you'll be able to escape and live a relatively happier life in the barn. But for now, you're just stuck in the pit with me forever. We're all kind of stuck in a pit, in a sense, you know? We just live our lives trying our best to live. And, you know, we just continue doing what we've always done because we don't know better. We will behave the way we've always behaved because it's the only way we know how to behave. You know, we follow in the footsteps of our parents because that's the way we were taught to explore the world. Same thing with media. We act the way the media teaches us to because it's all we've ever known. And we don't know any better. And that's why representation and that's why representation is so important in media, is because that's the only way, that's one of the few ways to make the world a better place and to genuinely help shape people into behaving better. We can step out of the generational, we can let go of the generational, like, travesties that have happened. And we can genuinely work on improving and becoming a better society step by step. I don't know how I got there. Every single Minecraft cow thought experiment makes me lose more and more of my mind. It's okay, because there's pillagers here to punish me for my crimes of imprisoning them in the pit. You know, it's the karma, they say. I just had a very interesting thought, but I don't know if I want to share it because it's another weird philosophical thing. But okay, let's say there is a deity, that there is a god ruling that has created the universe. Do you think they experience like karma or have consequences to any of their actions? Do you think a god could have consequences for their actions? And I'm speaking more in the like Christian sense of God rather than the like Norse or Greek or Roman versions of gods. The pillagers are just the rebellion at this point, trying to save the cows, empty the cow gorge. Depends on what you believe. I don't know. I just was thinking about it, and it's like, if in this world I am somewhat of a, I guess I am somewhat of a god figure because I am the one who, I'm the only entity in this entire thing that actually has true freedom and agency. I'm the only thing that can actually actively make choices and actively change the land. And isn't that kind of the same thing as being of being divine? I need to stop talking. Please, someone stop me. If I remember right, the Christian sense of God is the highest power, so he can not do wrong since he defines what is wrong. Yeah, that is right, and that's one of the things. Is like, I don't know. I just think that like, this is gonna be a statement I'm gonna make. I feel like even gods should have ramifications for their actions, because it's like, you ever read the Bible? This is the wrong chest for this stuff. Phew, haha. There's a lot of things that happen in the Bible that just like, man, I don't know if I believe that, you know, like, I don't know if I can ever, you know, I have a lot of issues with Christianity. I don't have anything wrong with the actual like beliefs and practices, especially of, you know, like the love one another, you know, like everyone is your neighbor, whatever, you know, that kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like that's perfectly fine, and a lot of people, that's great. I love that for them. I just, for me, I guess, it's like, I don't see why you need a god to do that. I guess a lot of that is, a lot of people get a lot of comfort from a god and an afterlife, and I just personally, for that kind of thing, just never, that never was the case with me. But I think it's an interesting, I think it's really interesting that people, I don't know. What was I saying? So he cannot do wrong, since he defines what is wrong. Some do, depending on what you believe. All the many beliefs of God. I don't know. It's one of the topics that I want to become more versed on because I think it's so interesting and fascinating. It gives you such a glimpse into other people and their values. Because like, I know my sister, like her, like one of the most important things to her is like the value of like family. Like one of her biggest life goals was to have a family and raise kids, you know? Like that was like her like life mission, you know? Like that's what she got value out of. That's what she gets value out of from life, and I don't. And I feel like it's kind of the same way with religion, of like, I personally don't really get much out of it, but like it's so important to other people, and that's just so interesting to me. And I just want to understand where they come from. I don't know. But at the same time, I just, you know, I definitely had my very snarky atheist phase, because who doesn't? There are diamonds right there. I just found diamonds. I feel like a lot of that was just kind of a rebellion because all I'd ever known was the super, like, strong, like, religious thing, and I just needed, at that point in my life, I was not, like, emotionally, I just wasn't, I was just kind of, like, not a very great person, and I held a lot of anger about a lot of things for a very long time, and that's something that I've really worked on, is, like, not being a complete jerk to everyone. I think the reason that Christians have such faith in God is because he's all-knowing and everything in his plan, and even the darkest moments of your life are a part of the plan, and that can be nice to have that belief. And sometimes I assume you can lean on in dark places. Yeah, I totally get that. And also the feeling that if you live the best life you can, then at the end of this, you'll have, like, eternal paradise, and that there is, like, more meaning to this life. Like, I completely respect people, and, like, I understand feeling that way. And that's, I think that's really cool. Cool is my one adjective, apparently. And it's just, like, I'm glad they have something that they can draw from and gain strength from. I guess I more just have a problem with the organized, like organized Christian beliefs. I don't know, because I don't have a shield equipped. Like, just look at, like, the Crusades or anything like that, where it's just like there's so many people have used, like, the Christian God as a excuse to just commit wars and, like, kill so many people and hate so many people. And I guess that's more of where my problem comes from, is when you use a god to justify your own hatred and your own preconceived biases. Sir, I don't like you. Please don't poison me. I hate I don't wanna, please stop. Please stop, please stop, please stop, please stop, please stop. Thank you. Too many of my friends who don't believe in God feel forced to by their family, and that's something that's caused a lot of anxiety for them. Yeah. Yeah, and I you know, I definitely felt, growing up in a super religious family, that if I did not believe in God, then there was something wrong with me, and that I could never be a good person without God. Which really just, let me just tell ya, that did great for my whole, like, I'm an awful, terrible person, whole shtick I got going. And, like, I distinctly remember being just about to turn 8, and in, like, the Mormon church or whatever, you get baptized at 8, and you have this, like, interview with, like, the bishop or whatever, where it basically asks, like, oh, do you believe the church is true, specific, like, things, like, tell me your testimony, that kind of thing. And I remember I was 7 being like, okay, I'm going to have to lie, and I'm going to have to do this even though I don't want to, because I know if I don't, then I'll have to answer why, and that will cause, like, you know, it'll ruin our reputation as a family, you know? And that's a lot of the specific area, and I was in, and it's the Mormon church in that area, very much the culture, so is one of shunning and shaming people for any slight differences and anything like that. I was lucky enough only to have my dad's side of the family be religious, and even then none of them forced me to believe in God. Yeah, that's a really good thing, you know, like if I ever have kids, which I definitely won't do, if I ever have kids, I will, I don't know, foster or adopt, because that's, I don't know, that's something that I don't care strongly enough about having kids to have kids just for the sake of having them. But that's a whole nother argument. And it's like, it's the whole, like, you can believe in whatever you want to and I'll support you, and I'm never going to force my beliefs on you. And it's, that's, I guess, like, that's most of my problems with, like, interacting with a lot of, like, my family, or, like, back when I went to school, a lot of my, like, more, like, Christian classmates, is because they were constantly pushing their religion on me and refused to accept my no's as answers. And it's like, sir, I don't, like, buddy, I don't want to have a conversation for you about why I don't believe in God 5 minutes before class, and I know you're just, and they would quote Bible verses at me, and I, you know, I would quote them right back because I knew them, and that always gave them a shock. I don't know, because it was just the whole, like, I don't know. I had some interesting experiences, because I've always been, like, a very big, like, advocate for, like, LGBT, what's the right word? People? I feel like people is the right word. Let me use it, because my brain is bad. I've always, that's been always something that I've felt really strongly about and always talked about. And one of my classmates was like, because of you, I've realized that gay people are people too. And I'm like, I get where you're coming from. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, can you think about your wording for like 5 seconds and maybe say something else? Because it's like, I got where he's coming from, because he was a kid who'd been entirely raised, you know, his whole experience had been one of, like, you know, his entire life experience had been one of being Christian. And, like, I know the way they talk about, like, LGBT people and other people in that kind of thing. And it's like, it's really hard to see them as real people because of the way they talk about them. And so, like, I understand what he was saying, because I too had my eureka moment where I'm like, wait, gay people aren't made up by Hollywood. They're real people with actual lives who aren't just Satan infiltrating Hollywood to make people sin. I had my moment, but I didn't go up to someone and say, like, oh, you're the reason why I realized that, whatever. You know, like, I don't know. And I don't know. That's part of why I care a lot about these kind of things, is because, like, in a different timeline where I hadn't moved, you know, at that point in my life, I probably would still be you know, I would probably have a lot more issues, and I would probably be a much unhappier person. And I would probably still be I'd probably still call myself, you know, like, a Christian and be all about it. And I'd post pictures of, like, Jesus into my Instagram timeline. Okay, that is one thing. I have a question for them. Why do they do that? I don't get it. I don't know. But, like, with things like that, which are, like, core to my identity, I went through a very big phase of using them entirely to define myself, because I didn't know who I was outside of labels. And so I clung to every single label I could get and just use that to entirely define who I was and my role in the world. But, like, now I'm at a point where I literally don't care. I don't really, the sort of, like, labels and that kind of, like, defining thing, I don't really care for them or use them anymore, because they don't matter to me. Because it's like, at the end of the day, you know, I've kind of hit a point where it's like, I am who I am, and that's it. I don't need to define myself for anyone else. I don't need to have a label or a definition for myself. I can just be myself and leave it at that, you know? I feel like I'm talking about, I feel like I lost the plot thread of whatever I was talking about. But it's just like, I feel like you just gotta grow up and be a person and learn what matters to you. And there's a lot of things that matter to me a lot. And it's, I don't know. breathe, deep breath. Because at the end of the day, my like ultimate goal in life is to make a world that I would want to grow up in. You know, I know it's like unrealistic and like oh, I need to enchant books. Like kind of like a utopian dream or whatever. But it's like to have a world where like the only problems you worry about is like, oh, hey, will so-and-so ask me to the dance, or will, oh no, I didn't study for my math test. I want those to be the biggest problems in the world. And all I can hope for is that one day that won't be too much to dream of, you know? That won't be too much to ask. And that'll just be a reality. And we can all just like live and respect each other and have just be able to be happy. Because I don't think a utopian world will ever truly exist where everyone is perfectly happy and there are no struggles. I just think that's completely naive and unrealistic, but unlike what a lot of people say, I'm not super I don't want to be nihilistic. I genuinely have at least a sliver of hope that one day the world can be like that. Oh, it's enchanting books, that's what. And then what time is it? It's been 3 hours. Wow, I talk so much. All of the time. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what I'm still talking about. Let's just get some enchantments on this. Okay, it's efficiency 3, that's solid. Okay, that's fine. I don't know. I really need to stop talking about philosophy. I really need to just read books in peace and just stop bothering other people with my like pseudo intellectual like philosophy debates. Okay, let's say hi to Glenn, and then I think I will be done because I'm tired. Hi Glenn, hello. Boop. Have some steak. This is why we have the cow pit, you know, so you can have the best, Glenn. You can, just for you. I'd do anything for you. I'd give you the whole world if I could. Okay, and thank you so much for watching. This was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun streaming this. I should probably figure out my sleep schedule. But if I don't, I will probably do more of these early streams because I'm actually enjoying them a lot more because the sun is still up. And once I finish with this, I can like go and do things. And I really missed going on walks at like dusk because now it's starting to get, it's too hot to walk during the day. So you have to go like right at dawn or like after the sun has started setting. And so like I don't know. I'm liking this time for streaming. I don't know. A cow pit will never produce good food because the food is clipping into other food. It adds flavor, baby. I had fun learning about cow philosophy. Yeah, it was fun talking. Thanks for a fun stream. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I should probably stop it because I'm watching. I'm just actively dropping frames as I talk. I still really like my makeup still. That's a surprise. Usually by now I hate it. Okay, I need to stop talking and end the stream already. Bye.